I have been at this. I don't know. I'm gonna say I've been at it all day, but I have been at this since I bought the machine. So I bought this machine last year, about February, arrived March, April. You know, I had other things going on, so I barely looked at it until June, July. And really, I've only been putting the time in recently because there's a lot to it. But I got it going. There are so many details to setting this up. You have to train it so much. You have to teach it about all the parts. You have to learn about optical recognition, about blur and filters and outlines, and how to tell it what a chip is. There's so much physical calibration because there's just a lot going on in this machine. And you know, if you move something, you go bash. You know, that's it doesn't know where it is. It doesn't just know. You have to tell it. You know, some things it can compensate for. Like, it will always go back to this reference point and say, right, that's dead zero, so I know everything's relative to this point. It can check what's going on the tips when it picks a part up, so it can say, all right, I've picked that up at a wonky angle and correct it. But what it doesn't know, it's got no way of knowing, like, how many parts have been used in each of these trays. It just has to count. You know, you have to tell it, this is where the first part is, every part's at a 4mm spacing, this is how many parts there are in this tray. And you can see here, like, it missed one, and it didn't pick that up, so it just moved on and grabbed the next one. So now we've got like a spare part lying around in there. You know, I can tell it that's there, but it doesn't know. All it knows is it tried to grab a part, it looked at it at the camera, it wasn't there, tried again. You know, which is cool. It's very, very cool. You know? You know, and the accuracy is pretty cool. You know, it's grabbing the parts, checking them under the camera. At the moment, it's been a bit inefficient by using one head, and you know, it's things like this. I don't know how to get the second head working all the time. So they have different size tips on, and when it wants to pick up a large part, it'll go put a large tip on. When it's small, put a small tip on. But if you've got a small and a very small, it should be able to pick up one pine each at the same time. So you've got to pick, place, and it does do that. But every now and then it says, no, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm just going to do a single pick and a single place. Now, I don't mind, because, you know, I'm just happy it's being assembled. I don't care if it's taking a bit longer than it should. You know? It's pretty cool. But obviously it's another thing I'll have to learn. And you know, there's been so much stuff going on with this machine. So much. So when the machine originally came, it had wheels. It's now got rails. These are smoother and more precise. I mean, it had a completely different head assembly. That's all been 3D printed again. It's been replaced with new 3D printed parts. So even you look here, you can see the different colours because they're new. The rails. And these were only released after I bought the machine. You know, these are version 1. I think there's an update for these already. I'm not taking them off and reprogramming the firmware, but I need to do that. These, honestly, I mean, the thing that's supplied with it is just a little thing that goes on the table, and it's fine if you're making simple boards, but these are not simple. I've got dozens and dozens of complex parts, so, you know, I had to design these, and I designed them again, then I changed them again, then I made it so they fit on the rail alongside these, and I already want to change them again, but they work, you know, and it took ages to get them this design to this point. So these are mine, 100%, designed from the ground up, and they don't look like much, but they are a lot, and the same, the ones at the back, you know, they're the same, they're mine. You know, what else is mine? This holder for these boards, because obviously I'm doing panelization. I want to do multiple boards on a single panel, and I had to design a mechanism for clamping these in place with a bit of shock absorbency, because, you know, it is going bang, bang, bang as it puts things onto the board, so it needs to keep it tense, but then also needs to get the board off without knocking anything, because those parts are only placed, you know, if I jar this when they come off, everything's ruined and we've wasted our time. But and even things like this is a light screen, because it turns out it hates my lighting. So I needed some kind of screen, otherwise it can't calibrate. But yeah, I'm gonna shut up for a minute and just let you watch the magnificence.